There comes a time in every man's life when he realizes no one is coming to save him. No superhero, no mentor, no miracle, just him, his fists, his fear, and the silence of the night. That's when the real story begins. Not the one told in movies, but the one carved in blood, sweat, and broken bones. This is not just about fighting others. It's about fighting the weakness inside you, the doubt that whispers, "You're not enough." Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say can change everything. You've been lied to, told to stay quiet, told to be soft, told that strength is dangerous. But let me ask you, what happens when danger finds you? Chapter 1. Why you need to be dangerous. Have you ever walked through a dark alley and felt fear crawl up your spine? Not just because of who might be out there, but because you knew you couldn't protect yourself if something did happen. That's not paranoia. That's your instinct screaming. You don't become dangerous to harm people. You become dangerous so no one dares to harm you. Let me tell you about a guy I knew. Skinny, quiet, always kept his head down. One day he got jumped. 3 guys. No warning, no mercy. He begged, they laughed, he cried, they kicked. But that night something changed. He didn't sleep, he didn't eat. He trained every single day. He didn't want revenge. He wanted to become a man no one could ever treat like that again. Strength doesn't come from violence, it comes from discipline, from knowing that you can destroy but choosing to protect. Chapter 2. Building the body that commands respect. Let's get real. When you walk into a room, people scan you. They judge you in 3 seconds. If you look weak, they treat you like you're weak. But if you move like a predator, shoulders up, chin firm, no fear in your eyes, even the loudest guy shuts up around you. This isn't about looking cool. This is about presence. And presence starts in the body. No gym, no problem. Start with this. 100 push-ups a day, 100 squats a day, 3-minute plank, 20-minute shadow boxing. No excuses, no equipment, just you and your willpower. You want respect? Build a body that earns it. You don't need abs. You need power. The kind of power that comes from repetition, pain, and hunger. Not six-pack selfies. Next, your walk. When you walk, walk like you own the ground. Step with purpose. No slouching shoulders back. Slow, steady, grounded. People can sense fear, but they can also sense confidence. And trust me, it's better to be feared than ignored. Chapter 3. The fight mentality. Never be a victim again. Here's the truth they won't tell you. Most fights don't last more than 30 seconds. 30 seconds of chaos, screaming, blood, confusion. And in those 30 seconds, your training decides everything. Not your height, not your muscles, not even your courage, your instincts. Let me break it down. Stage 1, the flinch. Most people freeze. But trained men, they move fast. Train your flinch. Use it to step back, angle, counter. Stage 2, the decision. You have 1 second to decide. Fight or escape. Don't hesitate. Indecision is death. Stage 3, the finish end. Hit fast. 1 clean strike. No flashy combos, just real hits. Jaw, throat, knee. Take them down. Walk away. This isn't MMA. There's no ref, no rules. You're not born a warrior. You're forged into one, not in some fancy dojo, not under spotlights, but on the streets, where no one claps when you bleed, and no one cares if you fall. I remember standing in an alley once, cold wind, broken streetlight buzzing, and in front of me, 3 men I didn't know, 3 problems I hadn't asked for, but 1 choice, stand or fall. And brother, that one moment taught me more than 10 years of books. It taught me about the look a man gives right before he attacks, the silence that hums just before the chaos, and the fire you either ignite or die with. This world isn't waiting to hand you power. It's waiting to take yours the second you let your guard down. And most men, they've already given it up. They slouch. They stare at their phones. They walk like they're apologizing to the ground. No purpose, no power, just surviving. But you came here to become something else. A man who walks not to blend in, but to lead, to protect, to inspire. The shift from victim to force. Let me tell you something most people will never say. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you bleed for. The first time I got punched, I cried. Not because it hurt, but because I felt powerless. And that's the real fear. Not the pain, the powerlessness. That feeling that someone else is writing your story, and you're just watching. But once I made the decision to never feel that again, everything changed. You don't need a black belt. You need a black heart. Forged by purpose. Let's break something down. What makes a man dangerous? It's not the size of his muscles. It's the control of his mind. Calm under pressure, clear in chaos. Cold when it matters, and warm when it's over. A real man knows when to fight, and when to walk away. But walking away takes more strength than swinging. That's why in this series, I'm not just giving you techniques. I'm building you into someone who walks into a room, and everyone notices, looks danger in the eye, and makes danger blink, speaks little. But every word lands like a hammer, training your mind for the street. Let's get this straight. 90% of street fights are decided before the first punch. You know why? Because most people freeze. They overthink, they panic, they wait. But a trained mind doesn't wait. It moves, like water, like instinct, like a wolf that's tasted blood before. Start by training your eyes. Watch people, learn patterns. Notice the twitch before someone gets violent, the way feet shuffle before an ambush, the silence before a slap, the smirk of a man who's hiding fear. Your brain is a weapon, but only if you sharpen it. Body language, your silent battlefield. Before you say a word, people already know what you are. The way you walk, the way you stand, your posture, your energy. Want to walk like a leader? Then stop walking like a ghost. No slouching, no darting eyes, no, "I hope they don't notice me" aura. You walk like you own the street, not because you're arrogant, but because you belong. Here's a challenge. Next time you step out, walk like this. Shoulders slightly back, chin neutral, not up, not down, eyes forward, no looking at the ground. Calm, breath-controlled steps, no rush, no panic, no fear. Even if you feel weak inside, don't show it, because here's the secret. Your body teaches your brain how to feel. Walk strong, and you'll feel strong. Act like a leader, and your mind will follow. Reality check. The cost of weakness. You know why I push this hard? Because weakness gets punished, not just in fights, but in life. Weak men get ignored, disrespected, pushed, used, forgotten. I've seen it happen. The guy who let his boss scream at him. The guy who let a bully scare him at 17 and carried that fear into 30. The guy who watched his girlfriend leave because she stopped feeling safe around him. It all started with one moment. He backed down when he should have stood tall. Never again. Not you. You're gonna become the man who's ready. Street Intelligence 101. Let's start building your instincts. Always be aware of exits. No matter where you are, don't argue when your gut says leave. That's your primal brain saving your life. Never turn your back in a confrontation. Eyes on the hands, not the face. Hands throw, hands stab, hands end things. Watch for the setup, sudden friendliness, weird questions, odd behavior. That's bait. This isn't paranoia. This is street IQ. Part 1. They broke you first, then you decided to rise. Opening scene. Voice slow, dark tone. Background, distant heartbeat, rain, cold wind. There's a moment in every man's life where he's not a man, just a scared little boy in a grown body, lost in a world that only respects strength. You remember yours, don't you? The hallway fight, the street corner ambush, the time they pushed you in front of everyone, and you did nothing. Froze. Not because you're weak, but because your mind wasn't ready, your body wasn't trained, and your heart was still trying to be kind in a cruel world. They laughed, you hated yourself, and that night, you didn't sleep. Fade in, fast-paced clips of street chaos, flashes of fists, broken glass, people screaming. But here's the truth they never told you. You weren't born a fighter. You were born with the choice to become one. Scene, the trigger. You look at yourself in the mirror, see the slouch, the fear in your own eyes. That's not you. That's the version they created. The real you. He's buried under all that trauma. And tonight, we dig him out. Because when a man decides to rise when no one can stop him, not fear, not fists, not fate, but first, we need to burn the lies they fed you. Chapter 1. Fear is a liar, but pain is a teacher. They told you fear means run. They were wrong. Fear is a signal. Fear is a map. It tells you what you're not ready for and yet. But here's the catch. You can train for fear. You can step into the darkness inch by inch and make it home. You don't fight to win. You fight to grow. Chapter 2. 5 Rules of the Street Fighter Mindset. These aren't rules you find in gyms. These are forged in alleys, learned when no one's watching. Rule 1. Never wait. If they move, you strike first. Not out of anger, out of instinct, out of training. You don't have time for speeches. The street doesn't do second chances. Rule 2. Every movement has purpose. No wasted motion. No ego dancing. You don't throw hands to look cool. You throw hands to survive. Rule 3. Use fear. Don't let it use you. Channel it. Let it make you sharper. Let it give you power. Fear makes cowards freeze, but it makes warriors faster. Rule 4. Escape is victory. Forget movies. Real warriors walk away with bones intact. They fight only when there's no other way. You win by surviving, not by bleeding on concrete to prove a point. Rule 5. Protect first, attack second. The real fight isn't about winning. It's about making it home alive. Your girl is waiting. Your mom is praying. Your future is watching, so protect that future. Training begins. The mind comes before the muscle. This ain't about six-packs or protein shakes. This is about reprogramming. The moment someone swings at you, your brain must already be in motion. You don't think, you react. That's what makes killers versus survivors. Muscle memory, muscle size. So we start with drills. Drill 1. Trigger response. Someone reaches, you flinch forward, not back. Train it until it's reflex. Do it in front of the mirror. Slow, then faster. Drill 2. Tunnel vision breach. Most freeze because their vision narrows. You train your breath to stay calm. Wide lens. Focus on their chest, not their fists. The chest tells the truth. Fists lie. Drill 3. Shadow combat. Fight ghosts. Alone. Lights off. Just you and your instincts. No sound, no eyes, only reaction.